It may seem as though time has stopped when you're experiencing one of those moments. When just one, we can't help but gasp in amazement when we hear unexpected news. That was when Kelly Ripa, a beloved character on American television, had her worst fear. When her husband, Mark Consuelos, was sent to the intensive care unit, the doctors gave her the final words that would change her life forever. We're going to tell you a heartbreaking story of love, loss, and tenacity tonight. A tragic story that has touched audiences around the country and serves as a powerful reminder of how fleeting life is. Mark has a message that could permanently change your perspective on love if you read it through to the end. Celebrity prior to catastrophe, Mark Consuelos and Kelly Ripa were more complex than they first appeared. They demonstrated that sincere love could withstand being in the spotlight. From their brief romance on All My Children to their decades-long marriage, fans adored watching them laugh it up, raise 3 children, and remain a pair through thick and thin. For those of us who were watching from a distance, they represented stability in a world where celebrity marriages are so ephemeral. However, every love tale has its share of challenges. Furthermore, Kelly's greatest worry has always been that she might lose Mark. She was always raving about how Mark was her pillar of support and that she couldn't imagine her life without him. That fear eventually materialized. Pay attention. Be serious. It came as a surprise. One night, Mark wrote off his chest issues as a sign of exhaustion. As the night wore on, his anguish became unbearable. Despite Kelly's entreaties for him to sleep, his loved ones freaked out and rushed him to the emergency department as soon as he passed unconscious. He was immediately moved to the intensive care unit by the medical team. As nurses hurried and machines beeped, the world turned into a blur, swallowing Kelly in a never-ending nightmare. As the doctors worked, she held his hand and prayed in a whisper, asking God not to take him away. But what followed would shake her to her very foundation. Caution! Caution! Following hours of testing and stabilization, the doctors led Kelly and the kids into a quiet room. Their faces were carved with the truth. One doctor said something that no family ever wants to hear. Expect the unimaginable. Kelly felt a shiver go down her back. Her children's cheeks were filled with tears. Reality hit her like a tidal flood. Now it might be finished. She had always tried to ignore her worst nightmare, but suddenly it was staring down at her. Kelly maintained a semblance of hope despite that awful period. She had not yet completed her hold. No, not yet. Given that Mark was hunched over in the IU, struggling to stay conscious, the asterisk is utilized. The entire Ripa Consuelo family came together. Michael, the oldest, stepped up to help his mother in her suffering. With tears streaming down her cheeks, Lola sang softly at her father's bedside. Walkman held his father's hand without moving from his side. Kelly, meanwhile, battled the internal dilemma of being harsh or giving in. Later on, she revealed that she felt as though she was balancing two different worlds at the time. She was a fearful wife at one point, and then she had to be strong for her children. Unconscious thaw. Frozen. Asterisks. Mark was still there. Doctors say that patients often hear voices in such situations. As a result, he frequently engaged in conversation with Kelly and the children. They prayed for his return, told him stories, and begged him in whispered voices. "Please, Mark, don't leave me," as Kelly leaned closer and shed tears onto his hand. "Having you around me is crucial." In such desperate words, the woman expressed both her fear and her love. The man in front of her was the center of her entire universe. Warning, warning, warning. Kelly kept thinking about their shared life throughout those long hours. She recalled that when they first arrived on site, they clicked right away. Her thoughts drifted to their nuptials, an unplanned elopement that startled past her speed, but made perfect sense to them. She was reminded of the births of their 3 children, of holidays full of laughter and peaceful moments when Mark would take her hand lightly. Each memory was a source of comfort and suffering, proof that they had created life and that they could destroy it at any time. Asterisk. Kelly's children started to express themselves as the evening went on. Michael openly expressed his concern about losing his motivation. Lola said she couldn't imagine her life without her father's humor and wisdom. "Please stay, Dad." Dwakian, the youngest, simply begged into his father's hand. "Oh, please." Even if their remarks were depressing, they demonstrated the power of a loving family. Additionally, it acted as a reminder to viewers who were keeping up with the plot that underneath all the Hollywood glitz, there was just an ordinary family, vulnerable, shaken, clinging to a ray of hope. Warning, warning, warning. As Kelly left the intensive care unit early in the morning, fatigue started to set in. Cameras and fans, Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos' marriage is one of the strongest, most cohesive, and longest-lasting celebrity unions. They have turned what might have been a fleeting Hollywood romance into an enduring story of love, strength, and unity. In spite of the entertainment industry's unrelenting scrutiny, while they were both working on All My Children in the middle of the 1990s, they started dating. While they worked towards their goals, Kelly and Mark were bursting with enthusiasm and energy, but fate had other plans. Their on-screen chemistry soon translated to real life, and in 1996, they surprised everyone by getting married in Las Vegas on the spur of the moment. Nearly 30 years ago, a brief romance blossomed into a loving marriage, 3 children, and countless treasured memories. But there were also negative aspects to the story. The challenges of balancing their marriage, family, and careers have been openly discussed by Kelly and Mark. Kelly's rigorous role in Live with Kelly and Ryan, and later Live with Kelly and Mark's lengthy hours apart on the set of his acting projects tested their relationship. Mark has opened up about how their early years were marked by miscommunication and jealousy. But the two depended on candid communication and open communication rather than allowing their disagreements to fester. "We ended up discussing anything and everything," said Kelly after the event. "In the deepest sense, we are partners." The focus has been another challenge. For decades, their marriage has been researched, analyzed, and sometimes mocked by fans and the media. Many Kelly jokes have made fun of their contrasting cultures and feisty personalities. While Kelly is a talkative, a vivacious native of New Jersey, Mark, who was born and raised in Italy, but is more reticent, adds a calmer, intense focus to the table. But this harmony of polarities has strengthened their bond. Their 3 children, Michael, Lola, and Joaquin, are the center of their lives. Despite that success has never been easy, Kelly and Mark have made a concerted effort to keep their kids grounded. Kelly regularly shares the highs and lows of her family life on her talk show, emphasizing the challenges and victories that all parents go through. When their youngest son, Joaquin, left for college, they admitted to being heartbroken empty nesters. Kelly described the transition as a seismic shift, and Mark claimed he wasn't ready for sleep-ins. But what really sets this couple apart is their unwavering public support for one another. Their loving banter and Mark's frequent visits on Kelly's show are glimpsed by viewers. Their passionate, funny, and inside joke-filled social media posts reveal to viewers that the famous couple is actually just a typical couple who celebrate milestones, anniversaries, and fight periodically, but always end up getting back together. They have learned to overcome challenges and turn them into opportunities for personal growth over the course of their long marriage. In a profession where relationships often fail under pressure, Kelly and Mark have demonstrated that love can last through perseverance, humility, and humor. In an interview, Kelly asserted that they are still learning and growing. "The important thing is, you must persevere." For their fans, their story is more than just entertainment. It is a moving reminder that true love requires patience, time, and a wealth of experiences that are both forgiving and encouraging in order to develop into something enduring. As a result of their experiences with criticism, jealousy, and the pressures of stardom, Kelly and Mark have become closer rather than less. In the end, their marriage demonstrates that love can endure, evolve, and thrive anywhere, even in the infamously unpredictable entertainment sector. Mark Consuelos and Kelly Ripa can say that their vacation has been well worth it despite the ups and downs.